Hey there. I have a friend in Argentina who cannot understand why we Americans have so many guns. I'd like to try to explain America's gun culture. It's a very hot topic that divides our country and divides family. I have family members who are pro gun and family members who are anti gun. I'll try to explain why.
English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories.
So, why are there so many guns in America? The major reason is that it is written into our Constitution. Yes. America's Constitution was made official in 1789 when all states at the time, 13, agreed. And before they agreed to this Constitution, they made 10 changes. These changes are called amendments. And they together, the 10, are called the Bill of Rights. Rights are certain legal freedoms that are given to the states and to individual citizens. Number 2 amendment, the Second Amendment or second legal freedom, is the right to bear arms. That is the right to carry a gun, a weapon. Now, why was that written into the Constitution? It was written into the Constitution that every citizen had the freedom, the right to have a gun in order to protect themselves and their states from the federal or central government from invading or taking away rights of the individual states. This had happened before in other countries. And when America was a collection of British colonies, the British central government did this. So when America became independent after fighting the British and winning, they were very careful to write into the Constitution the freedom to protect themselves against a too strong central government. That is why it is written into our Constitution. So, is that important today? Do Americans fear the central government, the federal government? Do they think the American army is going to come marching into their state and take over? I don't know, but the reason Americans like their guns, the half of the country of citizens who like their guns, is not so much to protect themselves from the American army, against the army or the federal government. It's to protect themselves against bad guys, violent guys who are either evil and or crazy, mental. For example, my youngest son has a shotgun. He has 4 children and a wife, and he believes that if there were an intruder breaking into his house to harm his family, the police would not get there fast enough. So he has a shotgun to protect his family. Of course, he has a secure safe to keep his guns out of reach of the children. But that is why he has bought some guns for himself and his family. My father had guns. Every time he drove his car, he kept a pistol, a revolver, in the passenger seat right next to him. And when he and my mother would go camping in their motorhome, he always carried a gun. When he slept in their house at night, he had a gun right by his bed in the top drawer of his bedside table. I know lots of women who own guns. Look at this picture. Yesterday, when I was driving in town here in Alabama, I saw a car with that as a bumper sticker. I live in a state where many people have guns. They use guns because they enjoy hunting for sport or for food, and they feel safer with a gun. I have girlfriends who live in Florida and North Carolina who have their own handguns. I don't have a gun, but my husband does. In fact, last Saturday, we went shopping for a gun. I have never before been in a gun shop, but we went to Mr. Big Guns, a shop right here in Huntsville, Alabama. Mike was looking for a small revolver, a 9mm revolver, in order to do some target shooting and also to protect us here in the house. It was an interesting experience. I talked to one of the employees, one of the young men working there, and asked him about all the gun deaths that are happening, whether it's in schools or churches or shopping centers. And he said, yes, they are tragic and they make the news. But he said the majority of gun deaths were gang related. That was 63%. And then the next biggest group, sadly, were suicides. Now, gun deaths are tragedies, yes, but so are automobile deaths, deaths from cancer, deaths from diabetes, deaths from heart disease. All death makes me sad. But I'm not excusing the quantity of guns we have in America. I think we have that right. But I want to give you a little bit of background about why it's so much a part of our culture. And I've only touched on the major reasons because it's written into our Constitution and because American citizens who own guns do so for self-protection and or for hunting. That goes for rifles too, I would imagine. Well, I know this is a very controversial topic, but since it has come up with my friend in Argentina, I thought, why not talk about it to give you a little idea about why America is a country with lots of guns. Well, that's it for this episode. I'm Maria from English Without Fear. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here's my email